Caitlin Clark is not just making headlines, she's rewriting the playbook for women's basketball. With record-breaking crowds, jaw-dropping performances, and comparisons to NBA legends like LeBron James, her impact on the WNBA is impossible to ignore. But what happens when outspoken entrepreneur Patrick Bet-David weighs in on the phenomenon that is Caitlin Clark? Could this be the something that finally changes the dynamics of women's sports forever? Caitlin Clark has become a force within the WNBA, and her impact on the league is nothing short of transformative. When she steps onto the court, something incredible happens. Crowds swell, TV ratings spike, and the buzz around women's basketball reaches a fever pitch. It's what many are now calling the Caitlin Clark effect. When we discuss the average attendance when Caitlin Clark plays, is an impressive 15,300 whether she's at home or on the road. To put that into perspective, these numbers aren't just good, they're game-changing for the WNBA, which has struggled for years to draw large crowds. Clark's ability to fill seats isn't just a fluke, it's a consistent pattern. For instance, when the Atlanta Dream played a game with Clark in the lineup, they set a new record for the biggest crowd in Georgia history to watch a WNBA game. The State Farm Arena, usually home to around 3,500 fans for a typical Dream game, was packed to the brim, even offering standing room-only tickets. This wasn't just another game, it was a must-see event, all thanks to Caitlin Clark. The comparisons to LeBron James aren't just media hype. Like LeBron, Caitlin Clark has that rare star quality that draws people in, whether they're casual fans or die-hard basketball enthusiasts. Her shooting range, confidence, and overall game have elevated her to a level where people want to watch not just women's basketball, but Caitlin Clark play women's basketball. Just as LeBron has done for the NBA, Clark is doing for the WNBA. She's making it impossible to ignore. When Clark is on the court, she's more than just a player. She's an attraction. Her presence alone has turned what might have been a regular season game into a headline event. It's not just about her skills, although those are certainly worth the ticket price. It's about the energy she brings, the way she plays the game, and how she's single-handedly drawing attention to a league that has often struggled to find its audience. With Caitlin Clark in the spotlight, the WNBA is experiencing a surge in popularity that could very well change the future of women's basketball. When we talk about how Patrick Bet-David reacted to all this, if you followed Bet-David, you know he's never one to shy away from speaking his mind, and Caitlin Clark's rise in the WNBA has certainly caught his attention. He's been vocal about how Clark is shaking things up, and he's not just talking about her on-court performance, he's digging into how she's changing the entire landscape of women's sports. Bet-David has praised Clark for what she's doing, but his admiration goes beyond her skills. He sees her as a catalyst for much-needed change in women's sports, especially in how star players are promoted. Bet-David has pointed out that the WNBA has finally found a player who can draw crowds and elevate the league's profile, but he's also criticized how the league has handled this golden opportunity. He argues that the WNBA has been too slow to capitalize on Clark's star power, suggesting that they need to do more to promote players like her if they want to keep the momentum going. One of the most powerful aspects of Bet-David's commentary is his stance on the importance of recognizing talent without letting race play a factor. He's been outspoken against the idea that Caitlin Clark's success should be viewed through any lens other than her extraordinary talent. Bet-David has slammed those who try to bring race into the conversation, calling it unnecessary and divisive. To him, Clark's abilities should speak for themselves, and the focus should be on her contributions to the game, not the color of her skin. In Bet-David's view, the WNBA has been given a rare gift in Caitlin Clark, a player who not only excels on the court, but also brings in fans and viewers like never before. His critique is that the league needs to step up its game in promoting its stars, ensuring that players like Clark get the recognition and support they deserve. He's been clear. The WNBA has the potential to grow exponentially, but only if it fully embraces the star power that Clark and others bring to the table. Patrick Bet-David sees Caitlin Clark as more than just a standout player. He sees her as a symbol of what women's sports could become if given the proper attention and promotion. His reaction is a call to action, urging the WNBA to recognize what they have in Clark and to use her success as a springboard to elevate the entire league. Caitlin Clark is not just a great player. She's redefining what it means to be a star in women's basketball. When you watch her play, it's clear that she operates on a different level. Her shooting range is almost surreal, with some comparing her deep threes to those of NBA legends like Steph Curry. But it's not just her ability to sink shots from way beyond the arc that sets her apart. Clark's overall game is what's making everyone sit up and take notice. Her statistics are nothing short of impressive. Clark boasts a 62.7% shooting percentage from within 5 feet, making her one of the top guards in two-point field goal percentage. This isn't just about making shots, it's about how she's making them. Clark's ability to finish strong near the basket is often compared to some of the best big men in the league, which is a rare feat for a guard. She's also an exceptional playmaker, leading her team with pinpoint passes and fast-paced decision-making that keeps opponents on their toes. The comparisons to NBA stars don't stop with Steph Curry. Many have likened her rebounding and playmaking abilities to Jason Kidd, while her creativity on the court has drawn parallels to Steve Nash. And then there's the LeBron James comparison, both for her influence on the game and the way she draws in crowds. Caitlin Clark isn't just playing basketball. She's elevating the sport to a new level. Her presence on the court brings a sense of excitement and urgency that's been missing in the WNBA for years. Every time she steps on the floor, she's not just playing a game, she's putting on a show that fans can't get enough of. As Caitlin Clark's star continues to rise, not all the attention has been positive. There's been a controversy brewing around comments that try to link her success to her race, rather than just acknowledging her incredible talent. Some have suggested that Clark's achievements are given more attention because she's white, which has sparked a debate that goes beyond basketball. Patrick Bet-David has been particularly vocal about this issue. He's strongly against what he sees as race-baiting rhetoric in sports commentary. In his view, bringing race into the conversation about Clark's success is not only unnecessary but also harmful. Bet-David argues that talent should be recognized for what it is, without any racial undertones. He's made it clear that Caitlin Clark's abilities on the court should be celebrated purely for their excellence, and anything less is a disservice to the sport. This conversation isn't just about Caitlin Clark. It reflects broader issues in the sports industry. The way we talk about athletes, especially those who break new ground, can reveal deep-seated biases. By focusing on race rather than skill, commentators risk undermining the hard work and dedication that players like Clark put into their game. Bet-David's stance is a call for a shift in how we discuss sports, one that focuses on merit and ability rather than falling back on divisive rhetoric. Caitlin Clark's rookie season has been nothing short of historic. She's been smashing records left and right, setting new standards for what a first-year player can achieve. For starters, she set a WNBA record for the most assists in a season by a rookie, notching an impressive 232 assists with still more games to go. This isn't just a number, it's a testament to how Clark sees the game and her ability to elevate her teammates. But it's not just her assists that are turning heads. Clark is also breaking viewership records, with her games drawing millions of viewers. Out of the 18 games this season that have averaged over 1 million viewers, 16 of them featured Caitlin Clark. This kind of impact is unheard of for a rookie, and it's sparking a lot of conversations about what this means for the future of the WNBA. Clark's success is also bringing attention to a hot topic in women's sports: player compensation. Despite her incredible performance and the massive revenue she's helping to generate, Clark's salary is relatively modest, $76,000 a year. This has led to broader discussions about how WNBA players are paid and whether the league is doing enough to reward its top talent. The contrast between Clark's earnings and the millions she's bringing to the league is stark, and it's putting pressure on the WNBA to rethink its approach to player compensation. Caitlin Clark is not just breaking records. She's setting new benchmarks for what's possible in the WNBA. Her influence is leading to bigger crowds, higher TV ratings, and a lot more attention on women's basketball. as she continues to break records and challenge the status quo. There's no doubt that Caitlin Clark is helping to usher in a new era for the WNBA, one where talent is recognized, rewarded, and respected like never before. Caitlin Clark isn't just making waves on the basketball court. Her influence extends far beyond the game, impacting everything from endorsements to social issues. Off the court, Clark has become a powerful figure in the world of sports marketing. She's signed lucrative deals with major brands like Nike and Wilson, showcasing her own signature shoes and basketballs. These endorsements aren't just about money, they're a testament to how much Clark's star power resonates with both fans and businesses alike. When a company like Nike decides to back an athlete, it's a clear signal that they see something special. Someone who isn't just a player, but a cultural icon in the making. But Caitlin Clark's influence isn't limited to product endorsements. She's also using her platform to advocate for issues that matter to her and her fellow players. One of the biggest issues she's spoken out about is fair wages in the WNBA. Despite her success and the revenue she helps generate, Clark has been vocal about the need for better pay across the league. She's pointed out the glaring pay gap between WNBA players and their male counterparts in the NBA, highlighting how even top players like her are earning relatively modest salaries. Clark's advocacy has sparked a wider conversation about how the WNBA compensates its athletes, putting pressure on the league to reassess its pay structure. Clark's impact on the economy of the team she plays for is also undeniable. Wherever she goes, ticket sales skyrocket and merchandise flies off the shelves. For example, the Indiana Fever saw a 225% increase in corporate partnerships and a massive boost in ticket sales, largely thanks to Clark's presence. Fans aren't just buying tickets, they're buying into the Caitlin Clark phenomenon, purchasing jerseys, merchandise, and even standing room only tickets just to catch a glimpse of her in action. This economic boost isn't just benefiting the teams, it's lifting the entire league, bringing in more revenue, and, hopefully, paving the way for better player compensation in the future. Patrick Bet-David has had a lot to say about Caitlin Clark, and he's optimistic about what her presence means for the future of the WNBA. From his perspective, stars like Clark are exactly what the league needs to propel women's basketball to new heights. Bet-David believes that with players like Clark leading the way, the WNBA has the potential to attract even more fans, sponsors, and media attention. He sees her as a game changer, someone who can help bridge the gap between the WNBA and other major sports leagues in terms of popularity and financial success. So, what are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below.